Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect, Hakim and Akwath, diligently laboring, keeping the faith in his truth. So we're going to get right into it. Saudi Arabia's petrodollar deal with the U.S. expires with no new agreement in place. And of course, we know that they didn't renew the agreement because Saudi Arabia is now a part of the BRICS, which the BRICS are actively looking to pretty much destroy the dollar. You know, right now they're setting up CBDCs, well, not CBDCs, but digital currencies that they can use to circumvent the power of the dollar. And this is a major move because Saudi Arabia is one of the world's leading producers of crude oil, which a lot of nations buy. And what were these nations buying this crude oil with? Well, they were trading it in USD. Now that Saudi Arabia has came up off this deal, a lot of these nations are now going to start dealing with the BRICS currencies to trade with this oil. So what this means for the US dollar is that it's going down. And of course, we know that the elites, they want to crash this system anyway. You're going to see more banks continue to collapse. You're going to see the power of the dollar continue to decline. Into the inevitable, what's going to happen is that this whole system is going to crash. And from that, a new digital technocracy, this fourth industrial revolution, is going to come forth where they're going to merge man with machine. And this goes into the MOTB, the rice grain, the microchip that they're going to embed in your forehead, in your brain, or in your right or your left hand. It doesn't matter. But this is what all these things are leading to. All right. So we're going to go into it today to show you that biblical prophecy is being fulfilled and that this dollar, as well as the whore Babylon the Great, must fall for the end to come. So we'll get into it. A petrodollar agreement with the United States and Saudi Arabia has expired. As per reports, the Gulf nation has decided not to renew the deal that expired on June 9th. The move can be seen as a global finance paradigm shift from the USD as a reserve currency. The termination of the deal may also have implications and consequences for America. And what are those implications and consequences for America going to be? It's going to be weakening of the dollar. More nations are going to get away from the dollar. They're going to stop trading in the USD, which is going to ultimately take America, is going to take the USD off of that reserve currency status. Really, the only reason why the USD is the reserve currency currently is because during the past World War II, nations were trying to rebuild their currencies. Their money wasn't stable, but America's was, because America really hadn't seen war on its own soil. They didn't have to rebuild. So America, the USD, was a stable currency that the world could use to trade. Well, we're in a different day and time now. America is on the brink of war with Russia and their allies. Well, really, we're already in World War III. It just hasn't gone nuclear yet. But with this, you see, with America falling as it is, and the power of the dollar falling, this is going to lead to war. Because when one hegemony goes down and another starts to come up, it's always conflict. It's always war that happens. Because America, especially Esau Edom, he ain't going down without a fight. You see? So the ultimate consequence is going to be the crashing of the US dollar and the setting up of a new system where everything will be tracked and traced. The deal was a major milestone for the U.S. global economic dominance. So far, there's no official confirmation to renew it. All right. So the Saudis, they got with the BRICS because they're tired of America. They're tired of this Western-led hegemony, and they see that the BRICS are coming up. They see how strong that Russia is. They see how strong that China is. They see that these weaker nations, in a former time, they was weak. They were subservient to Esau, but now they rising up and saying that we strong too. It tells you about that in Joel, the 3rd chapter. Let the weak say, I'm strong. But the Lord is shaking things up on the world stage, and this dollar falling, it's going to hurt. It's going to destroy a lot of people here in America, man. And, this is going to happen, or should I say, this is going to lead to Jacob's trouble. This is going to be one of many things that are going to, contribute to that great tribulation during that time. All right. You also have famines. You also have, lack of resources. Jobs are drying up. You see. So everything, the Lord is setting everything up for this final finale of this movie, man. And we're swiftly coming towards the end. Let's also get into this here. All right. Because this is also what's going on. Like I just mentioned, the famine. All right. The elites, they're looking to induce an artificial famine that's going to, pretty much destroy the average American. And this is nothing more than a siege tactic. When you go back to ancient warfare, they engaged in a tactic known as sieges, all right, where if you wanted to take a city, what would you do? You would burn the farms on the outside of the city, cutting off any supply lines that could come into the city. So you had control of the food. So therefore, the people inside the city, they could only survive off of what they had inside, whatever, storage that they had of food within the city, that's all they had to survive on. So they might hold out for a few months, maybe a year, but eventually they would surrender, or they would just choose to die off in the city. But either way, it will be an easy victory if you can assure that the people did not have access to a food supply. Well, the same thing is being done now. The elites understand that the common citizen, they're not just going to lay down to this New World Order agenda, but they're going to have to be forced to lay down. And one of the ways that you force these people to bend to your will is to cut off the food supply. All right. So this is what the elites are doing. And out there in Idaho, they actually signed a bill to curtail water going to these farms. And Idaho is, I think they're like number 3 in the United States as far as like agriculture, food production, but they're definitely top 10. So this is going to be a huge blow to the food supply in America. Also, you have the wildfires going on in California. California is also a very large agricultural producer for food in the United States, as well as Florida. You have things going on in all these states that are eventually going to lead to this famine, and it's coming fast. All right, so we're going to check out this TikTok, grab the article, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. We'll close out.
If you've been following the stuff that's been going on in Idaho lately, the tides are changing in Idaho. In the last couple of videos, we've been talking about how they've been culling the chickens because of the bird flu. And I want you guys to understand, too, that they're using the PCR test for that. And I want you to go do your homework on how reliable that test actually is. Okay? And you guys got to start peeling open this onion. On May 16th, just a short while ago, news surfaced of an outbreak at Hendricks Poultry in Iona County. And the company announced 400 layoffs and that 6.5 million poultry likely will be killed to stop the spread in Iona County alone. Nearly 91 million poultry in the U.S. are affected. With outbreaks in 48 states as of Friday, according to the Center of Disease Control. Additionally, 9 states, including Michigan, have reported outbreaks of the avian flu in cattle, and with 49 herds across the U.S. are impacted. Okay? I have more here. Don't go anywhere now. I'm telling you guys, They are coming for this food system, and they're coming for the homesteaders. Please understand me when I'm telling you. The whole deal, they have to control all of the food or it's not going to work. This is going to be a kind of a slow, fast process, right? It's not going to happen like overnight or anything, but they are moving towards that right now at record speed. And they're going to use this stuff to get you there through the fear and everything, okay? Cal-Maine Foods in Farewell reported a case of H5N1 bird flu, forcing the production at the entire facility to cease. The nearly 2 million chickens account for just under 4% of its flock. Okay. Here's another story. You could just spend 2 seconds and type in this stuff, and you can see all of these facilities that are getting bugged up by this right now. But if you've been following the stuff that's been going on in Idaho lately,
messages about the water deal going on in Idaho.
Okay, here's the deal with Idaho. All right. I need you guys to listen to this and share this information. All right. This is facts. TikTok, this is facts. This is not my opinion. This is for educational purposes only, whatever disclaimer I need to make. But y'all can go and look these facts up for yourself. Okay. There is a company called Jervis, Jervois. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it, but that's how you spell it. Okay. They have a $15 million contract with our U.S. military to extract cobalt within 45 minutes to 1 hour of all of the Idaho potato farmers. All right. They are doing an extraction process. The government has asked them to fire it up as of June 1st of 2024. They want that on a 24/7 basis. Now you can look for yourself how much water is needed to mine for cobalt. All right. There's where your water's going. It's a 200-acre mining facility that is on a plateau on the Salmon River. Okay. Get a map. Look where the Idaho potatoes are. Look where the cobalt mining is. Research how much water they need. That's why your water has been shut off to farmers. Okay. Yes, we need to stand up to this. I've been trying to post some information about how water and resources is being shut off to our farmers. And this is a big deal, people. So if you don't understand what's going on with the Idaho potatoes, right, it's easy to connect those dots right there.
Absolutely crazy thing, in my opinion. Yeah, people have been calling me, and I've been trying to get myself up to speed the last 3 days because it came out of nowhere. They got the letter that the wells were going to be turned off. It didn't give them much notice. This has all been in dispute. It's been talked about, but now the Department of Water Resources in the governor's office is set out the order. They got to close their wells. That is really a tough deal because these farmers have already planted. The timing on this is horrible. It costs $2,000 an acre to plant potatoes, or more, $2,000 to $3,000. And now they have to shut down the wells and give up that investment. Their land is mortgaged. The potato crops are mortgaged. Everything's financed. They will basically lose their farms if they turn their water off. But now, 2 years ago, the governor's office changed the formula. The Department of Water Resources, they have a new director there, and he changed the formula. And there was nothing to protect the old formula. So now they're under this new formula, which is under one of the best. We're having one of the best water years that we've had in the last decade. There's more water than they know what to do with. In this kind of a year, they're deciding that they're going to close down 500,000 acres because of the new formula. The Department of Water Resources has the prerogative on how to interpret these laws. I'm going to plead that the governor exercise leadership here and that the legislature exercise some leadership and build some framework. What we need to have them do is build some framework around these agreements and around the laws so we don't lose all of our agriculture in this area. And that appears to be the plan to really, over time or immediately, shut off agriculture in this area because their only option, if they don't sign the agreement that's put in front of them, they lose everything. Our economy in southeastern Idaho is highly dependent on this. The governor can't be serious. He appears to be. He's tagging these wells right now to shut down 330,000 acres immediately in the next 2 days. And if they don't make these agreements, they'll be shut down.
Yeah, and check it out. These politicians that are set up in these different states, they're directly plugged in with the WEF. This is why you're seeing these kind of moves being made. And when they can't really find a reason to do these things that they want to do, all they got to do is just make a law. They can just make a law, have it signed by tomorrow, and it's in effect. But we've been seeing, and it's not just in America, this is all across the world, that they're declaring war on farmers because they want a global famine. As a matter of fact, I remember touching on an article a few weeks ago where this insider, he actually reported, like, listen, stock up food now, get you some extra supplies, because a devastating famine is going to come. And this was like one of the top guys, like in that field of economics and agriculture and stuff like that. He actually came out and said that. Now you're seeing this, and it's not just going to be in Idaho. This is going to be in multiple states, but it's starting here. All right. So if you don't think that this famine that's coming is real, if you don't want to listen to the man of the Lord, because we've been telling you, starting with the elders and apostles, but this is biblical prophecy, man. Did not Yahweh Shai say that there will be famine in the last days? We're here, man. This is what it is. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And who are they that devise iniquity? Who has the power to pass laws? Who has the power to shut off the water to entire states so that their crops can't grow? I mean, you heard in the TikTok video, if they can't get water to produce these crops, then these farmers are going to lose their land. Which Bill Gates, he's the single biggest owner of U.S. farmland now. So what happened to all the farmers? We know that they've been, let's just say that they've been making farmers disappear, right? They've been paying them off to just sell the land and just leave. They've also been paying farmers to destroy their crops, to destroy their livestock. All these things are going on, but yet people are just out here walking around like it's a sunny day, like nothing's going on. But this is why the men of the Lord are here, to tell you what's going to happen before it happens. And we've been warning you that these things are coming before you even seen none of this. All right. Now it's here through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But who has the power to make these things happen? Well, it's Esau, Edom, starting with their elites, the people at the WEF, the people at the WHO. As you heard in the video, they're using this, bird flu situation to, declare war on these farmers. See, this is what's going on right now. But it's the elites of Esau, man. They're the ones that are devising the iniquity. Like, these devils sit up all night in think tanks, and this is the stuff that they be coming up with. This is the diabolical work that they devise, man. And as the scriptures say, when the morning is light, they practice it. So there was a time when they were just talking about these things. Oh yeah, well, we can do this here, we can do that. They just set it up. Now these things are being put into action. Why? Because Esau knows, pursuant to Revelation 12:12, that his time is short. The devil knows he has a short time, so he's coming down with that great wrath. This is part of that great wrath. Many people are going to perish from this famine. All right? They practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And a precept to that is Proverbs 29:2. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. See? The wicked, the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. And if you want to know who the wicked are, who runs the WEF? Who runs the WHO? Who runs the CDC? Who runs all these different organizations that deal with disease and hunger relief and all this, where does this all go back to? Well, it all goes back to the elite families, the elite bankers that run this world. And what are they? What nation do they come from? They're Edomites. See? So you can't get around it, man. I mean, it is what it is. The proof is in the pudding. All right, because you have a lot of these podcasters and news insiders. They'll say, "Oh well, it's the globalists." "Oh well, it's the elites." Well, who are the elites? Who are the globalists? See, that's what they don't really want to get too deep into, because if they say, "Oh well, these are all rich so-called white men," then it's like, damn, our own people is doing this. So they just say, "Oh well, it's the globalists." And in these organizations, you don't see not one Israelite, you don't see not one Jake at the helm, calling shots, giving orders. These are all Edomites, man. You see? Let's get this as well. Job chapter 20, because all this is to bring about this new world order, right? Job 20 and verse 19, it says, "Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness," see, pay attention here, "in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him." And that word wicked there, that goes into the common citizen or the laborer, right? So people are on to these devils. All right, this is why Klaus Schwab, he stepped down from being the head of the WEF, because now people are starting to ask questions. Now people are like, well, what's really going on with this whole World Economic Forum thing? What what does this guy mean that you will own nothing and you will be happy? Well, now you're starting to find out. See, now these plans, things that they've been talking about for years, are being put to action. They've put their hands to the plow. See, and they've infiltrated these world cabinets, right? Definitely of America, and they just installed that WEF puppet, what's her name, Claudia something, Sheen Bomb or something like that. But she's a small hat, and they set her up in Mexico. So the same thing you see happening in America, it's gonna happen in Mexico too, if they're not already doing it. The farms in Mexico are gonna be attacked. In South America, Brazil, all around the earth, man. These WEF, young global leaders, they're being set up to implement these policies, right? And it tells you in Daniel 8:25 that he shall cause craft to prosper through his policy, through his laws and legislation. This is what this man does. But yeah, people have found him out, and now, you have these patriotic, red, blue-blooded Americans ready to rise up against this devil, because they're like, yo, enough is enough. It's obvious what they're doing now. We have to take a stand and to fight against this tyranny. This is the call to arms, man. See? But people really aren't gonna rise up until these things really start to hit them where it hurts. All right. But yeah, right now Esau, he's coming into a lot of trouble. That's what it means when it says that he shall be in straits. Straits means a position of difficulty, because he has so much to worry about. He has to worry about Yahweh Shai, the hosts of heaven, the so-called UFOs or UAPs, which are the chariots. They're manifesting themselves more and more. He understands that his time is short. The elect is waking up. Judgment is going forth on the earth. He's being exposed as the devil. All right, so he's in straits right now. Verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. See, so just when this devil thinks that he's about to accomplish this NWO, and he's about to ride off into the sunset scot-free, The Most High is going to judge him. Okay, the Most High is going to lift up a standard against this devil. That's what it means when it says Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay, so Esau, he is going to see, certain things are going to happen. He is going to implement the MOTB because that's prophecy. He is going to bring about this famine because it is prophecy. And World War III is going to happen. You see? But all these things have to happen due to biblical prophecy, but he's not going to fully implement this system to where he's going to, be going on with this thing for years and years and years. And this is just going to be a way of life on the earth. No, the Most High is going to cut it short for the sake of the elect. All right. Psalms 2:1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh Basham Shai and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. Yeah, so these heathen are raging, man, especially Esau, because he's thinking that, this famine right here, this is going to set me up for this NWO. But even he's deceived, because all he's doing is forwarding his own demise by speeding up this agenda, man. We want this man to speed the agenda up, because the more that he pushes forward to implement this wicked system, the sooner that we about to get up out of here. And we see that time is speeding up, things are moving quick, man. Like these prophecies are happening like clockwork. So we need this devil to speed things up. Like we want the MOTB to come. We want World War III, man. All right, so we can get a little bit of this article and close out. Idaho lawmakers signed WEF treaty to ration water to engineer mass famine. Idaho lawmakers have agreed to begin severely rationing the water supply in the state as part of the WEF's plan to engineer a mass famine in America. Over 500,000 acres of farmland in eastern and southern Idaho are under a new curtailment order that restricts farmers from using groundwater to irrigate their crops, meaning mass food shortages in the state. You see that? Thousands of farmers across the Snake River Plain must now give up their land to the WEF or else face hefty fines. This after Idaho Department of Water Resources Director Matthew Weaver issued a curtailment order for 6 groundwater districts on May 31st. The 500,000 acres subject to curtailment represent about half of all the groundwater acres in the eastern Snake River Plain. Now, as you saw in those TikTok videos, this is for famine. They're also curtailing the water to use it to mine for cobalt and other resources. So these devils are just diabolical, man. And of course, we also know that this serves the purpose of depopulation. Going back to the Georgia Guidestones, maintain humanity at or below 500 million. And this is a way to get you there. All right. Which is a really big deal, not only for Idaho, but also the entire country, as those acres grow food for the nation. So we can pretty much, let's see here. Many of the banks, equipment dealers, and processors that are certain to be put out of business by the new curtailment order also exist in the Magic Valley, meaning people and families all across the state of Idaho are going to suffer in the days to come. And don't the scriptures say that this is the beginning of sorrows, right? Scriptures say that, 2nd Ezra 16, Matthew the 24th chapter. So we in some heavy times right now where the Most High is bringing the pain. All right, and he's using Esau, which is his sword, to bring these things about on the earth for the purpose of judgment. We can close out here on the scripture, because this is the manifestation of Esau's end. Like, this man is running around just doing anything at this point, but he can't escape the will of the Heavenly Father because he's a prisoner of prophecy himself. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? Matter of fact, let me get 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So at the end of the world, at the end of this current earth age, who's ruling? Who controls the world policies? Who has the strongest militaries? Who can sanction or destroy a nation at will if they buck up against the orders of the beast system? Who runs the beast system? Whose face is on the world reserve currency? It's Esau, the so-called white man. All right, so this is the end of Esau, man. And guess what? The meek of the earth, the Israelites, we got next. Now we coming up. And it starts with the elect. You see? So I'm going to go ahead and close out here. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and informative through the Rakah Kadash. Call her Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect.